2K Sports. We're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. This is Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we'll be hearing from our reporter, Allie LaForce, in the sidelines as well. And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Saturday, they'll go up against Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Monday, they'll take on Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
And for the game against Los Angeles, that one will mark game number 6 for them in the NBA season. We'll see if there are any adjustments between now and then to the rotation.
So with Johnson sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Norman Powell is out there with Andrew Wiggins. Then it's Tyler Hero. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Mitchell in at the point guard position. And for the Grizzlies, we've got Wells. Brandon Clark is out there with Santi Aldama. Then there's Scottie Pippen. And it's Morant in at the 2 spot. I'm told now by our producer, do we have him, guys? Okay, we do. We have a call coming in from Shams Charania. Shams, thanks for joining us. What do you have?
Well, thanks. The Heat knew they needed to add more shot creation, and this summer, they went out and got just that, acquiring Norman Powell, coming off an all-star caliber season with the Clippers, and doing so without giving up much draft capital in return, or even a starter. That has to be considered a home run for the Heat.
A terrific addition. Shams Charania with the report. Hey, Shams, thanks. And so it's Powell who brings up the ball for the Miami Heat. Shoots the 3, kept alive, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
Yeah, Wiggins is a big, active wing, and that time he used his size and athleticism to give his team a second chance.
Now, here's Pippen. And Aldama slams it in.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Pass to Adebayo. To the middle. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Clark, a screen on Mitchell. Pippen, the pass to Clark. And Clark slams it in.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
Adebayo with a screen on Morant. Hero finds Adebayo. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Just beautiful teamwork right there. Adebayo with perfect timing on that jump.
Pass to Aldama. Stolen by Hero. Here's Wiggins, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
And you can see the importance of that steal. Really a 4-point swing with the conversion at the other end.
Morant left side. Basket counts.
Well, the defense is going to try to shut down certain things, but it's impossible to deny everything. That's a skilled play right there.
Now here's Wiggins. 9 points last game. Adebayo with a screen on Morant. That one good for 2.
Well, that's just a classic 2-man game right there with Hero. Called for the pick, and he found some room to operate.
Morant with it. Picked up by Hero. Morant with the bucket.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And now they are just going to keep riding that momentum with the hot hand.
Now, here's Mitchell. He has yet to score. Hero, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Back to Morant. Clark sets a screen for Morant. Off target from outside. Miami's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Hero looking over the defense. Hero can't get that one to fall.
It's a tough stretch for him right now. He may want to find a different way to stay involved.
He gets that one.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
The Heat trail by 4. Mitchell outside. Back to Hero. Wiggins sets a screen for Hero. Pass to Powell. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Wells. Adebayo. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
It is inexcusable to not box out Adebayo right there. He is an athletic big who will hurt you on the offensive glass.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Hero finds Adebayo. And yes, it's good. 6 points for Bam Adebayo.
Just playing so strong down low. Adebayo knows you got to be ready for the fight inside.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Memphis.
And guys, I love the movement. Doing a great job of just getting the ball on a string, creating some opportunities.
And another thing they've done consistently well is attack the paint. They have stayed aggressive under the hoop and gotten high percentage looks.
That free throw, no good. So, Legs, here we are at the very beginning of an NBA season. Were you a quick starter, or did you have to build up as the season went on?
Well, Kevin, I didn't have a choice. I always tried to come into training camp in the best shape of anybody in there. I wasn't going to run around too many guys, so I had to run away from them. I learned that early in my career. But, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily shoot the ball well out of the gate. That really was season by season.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for Miami. 4-point game. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
And this was as even a matchup as you'll find in the NBA. Split the season series down the middle, one apiece.
Well, you've got 2 teams, one from each conference, trying to reach that upper echelon. Should be an interesting matchup.
Here's Pippen after Tyler Hero's bucket. Wiggins outside. Powell, no one around him. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
I was able to talk with the head coach of the Grizzlies. Like everyone, he's impressed with Adebayo's relentless nature. He said, quote, "We have to match his intensity at both ends, trying to keep him off of the glass and trying to keep the ball out of his hands. Coach knows they can do it for stretches, but he wonders if they can do it for a full game." Kevin?
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you. And here is Clark, following the three-pointer by Andrew Wiggins. The shot by Wells, no good. Here's Wiggins, and Wiggins throws it down hard.
Well, Wiggins may look calm and cool out there, but he can put on a show at times.
Just a terrific perspective of that dunk from the Connected Cam, brought to you by AT&T. And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. So Memphis ends up going with a new group, and a new group in for the Heat. Now here the 2K leaderboard with last season's top rebounding teams. Second, the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was an emphasis last year for them, crashing the boards, and what a job they did. Number 1 in the league in rebounding.
6 to shoot. Here's Jerome. Off target from three-point range. The Heat with the lead. Outside, Hero. From the arc. That's another miss. Number 4. He's 2 for 6 shooting.
When you're not at your best, it is great to have teammates who will pick up the slack.
And another miss by Memphis. Miami's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Off target with his three. The Grizzlies shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. Here's Ware. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Heat.
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
Well, don't forget about their scoring in the open floor. They've been getting a lot of production on their break.
And Miami has possession. The Grizzlies making the shot. At the tip, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Now here's Jackson. Still yet to score. And Edey has it in the corner. No good. That would have tied it. Miami leading by 3. Outside, Hero. Jerome with the steal. Down low. A steal. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Pass to Larson. And the 3 off target. To the paint. Picked off in midair. Inside. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And how about the agility coming from the big man? I mean, that's not something we often see from him.
You know, it's never going to be, Greg, a 360 dunk when he goes up with it, but it will be 2 points. We do know that.
Well, it's exactly what you want. When he's at the rim with his size, he should be attacking.
Here's Larson. Jaquez. And it's off from three-point range. And this Grizzlies organization, Greg, not afraid to innovate.
Yeah, we see that with the offense they've implemented, different from just about any other team in the league. Rather than pick and roll, it's much more predicated on off-ball shifts and cutting.
Hero on the wing. A floater. And the rejection by Jackson. To the inside. Back to Jerome. Pass to Jackson. Now Edey. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Here's Larson. Still without a basket. Shot's good by Hero.
Well, after giving up that 3 on one end, Tyler Hero was hunting an answer.
32 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And the dunk by Jackson.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff. Outside, Hero. Pass to Larson. The three-pointer off the mark. To the middle. Here's Edey. And he uses the glass on the layup. Now just a 1-point Miami lead.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint. Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Heat lead by 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've been seeing from the Heat, guys.
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Well, they're taking care of the ball on one end of the floor and then forcing mistakes on the other.
So with Johnson sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. They've got Mitchell. Wiggins is out there with Adebayo. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's Larson in at the 2. Now Jackson following Davion Mitchell's three-point attempt. Down low. Wells with the steal. Jackson kicks to Morant. And again, Memphis no good. And it's Adebayo with the ball for Miami. It's stolen by Aldama. Stolen by Mitchell. Floats it up for Wiggins. It's stolen by Aldama. To the paint, here's Jackson. The shot's good on the assist by Pippen. And the Grizzlies lead by 1.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Mitchell passes to Wiggins. They get a hand on it. Pels with the steal. Here's Morant. Morant bullies his way inside.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Mitchell passes to Wiggins. And Wiggins throws it down.
And that is physical that time by Wiggins, just showing you a lot of grit.
It's stolen by Adebayo. Powell outside. Takes the 3. John Morant grabs the rebound. Inside from 6 away. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Back to Mitchell. Adebayo with this screen on Pippen. Mitchell wide open. Here's Adebayo. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Adebayo's got 8 points.
Just non-stop work. Adebayo's effort is getting rewarded.
Pass to Larson. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
And they know for next time, don't let him establish position down low.
Well, you have to force a scorer away from his favorite place on the floor. In this case, you have to push him out or deny him the ball.
Here's Larson. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And the rejection by Jackson. Wiggins with the block.
Well, Wiggins is a terrific defender, and he is so good at understanding when to go after a block.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Free throw good from Aldama. And Greg is a former point guard in this league. Give us your top floor generals of all time. The guys that could direct the floor and could control a game.
Wow. If we're talking traditional point guards, I mean, I got to go Magic, Isaiah, CP3's in that conversation, Jason Kidd. But I've got a separate list for that hybrid point guard, right? Which that includes guys like Steph and Iverson, West, and the great Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
The Grizzlies have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
First free throw is good. So, Greg, offensively for the Miami Heat, there is room for improvement.
Yeah, they realized they were in need of another elite shot creator aside from Tyler Hero. For all his growth, teams have been able to key in on him and dare anyone else to beat him.
And both free throws good for Pippen.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And Eric Spoelstra wants a timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers for Mitchell. How he performed last season. Averaged about 8 points a game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And to be honest, not quite the numbers you've come to expect from a player of his caliber.
Well, even the best players go through a little bit of a slump. We've seen how good he can be, so I have full confidence he's going to turn this around.
And here's Morant, following the three-pointer by Andrew Wiggins. Just 4 to shoot. Wells' shot is good.
Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitiveness.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
Now here's Wiggins. 14 points for him. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway. Pass to Aldama. And Aldama slams it in.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Yeah, I mean, when you're fighting back, you cannot give up plays like that.
And it's Wiggins missing.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Wells kicks to Pippen. Back to Wells. The shot's good on the assist by Pippen. Pippen's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And I like the fact they didn't settle there. They worked for a higher percentage shot.
Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Bam Adebayo is big time. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, quote, "The way he's worked over the years to add to his game has been incredible. He's one of the best passers on the team, and he's not afraid to take the shot in a big moment. He cares deeply about improving, and you see it in the results of his work." Guys, back to you.
High praise indeed. Allie, we thank you very much. Now, here's Mitchell. Scoreless thus far. Out to Powell. And again, it's Miami with a 3.
Yeah, everybody will remember the bucket, but how about that pass to set it up?
Outside Pippen. Clark dishes to Pippen. Here's Aldama. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Well, they're winning this game in large part due to how efficient he's been, and it's why they'll continue to go to him.
And so Eric Spoelstra will call a timeout. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Edey's checked in for Santi Aldama. Vince Williams comes in for Wells. Konchar's checked in for John Morant. And it's Ty Jerome in for Pippen. Outside, Hero. Heat moving the ball around. To the middle. Edey with the steal. Here's Clark. And he banks in the layup. Now it's a 6-point Grizzly lead.
You got to know, this is Clark's skill set at this stage of his career. He takes quality shots when he's inside.
There's Hero with a 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Hero's got 10 points.
And they're hitting the long-range shots that they were missing in the first quarter, but still have ground to make up.
Edey, the shot is good. And so is his shooting tonight, 3 for 4.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Jovic, no good. Memphis leading by 5. Pass to Jerome. Now Konchar. Offline with his 3. Here's Jovic. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Well, defensively, you can't allow that in a game this close.
Poked away. Mitchell outside. This one for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And they definitely kept their eyes on the prize, put on a real entertaining comeback, and that's a feel-good game when you can win like that.
Last year marked the first All-Star appearance for Tyler Hero. Tim, he clearly is the pride in Milwaukee, one of the great high school players from that area.
Well, Kevin, he has finally put it all together and taken his game to the next level. Not just scoring, but also creating.
The Heat making a switch here. Akaz is checked in. That one drops. He ties it up. Tim, in your career, you played at every level of basketball, pro and college and before. What's the single biggest change in your mind as far as professional basketball outside the NBA?
Well, Kevin, I think globally the level of play has just risen dramatically. There's a much greater belief now that you can actually make it to the league, even if you're playing outside this country. And then the G League has created a much more streamlined path for those who want to work their way into the league.
G League has been terrific.
Sure has.
to the inside. Back to Conchar. And again, Memphis no good. And Miami shooting 53% in the second quarter. Good ball movement, yielding good looks.
Yeah, a nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality. Outside Williams. Edey with a screen on Jaquez. Jaquez against Williams. And that time, also a missed shot. The Heat with the lead. Ware passes to Hero. Now Jaquez. Guarded by Jerome. Here's Williams. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to go on Davion Mitchell. The Grizzlies have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4. And he can't get the first one.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Good on the second free throw. And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for Miami. Shoots over Jerome. Rebound by Williams.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And that one's good by Clark. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes. 6 already.
Now, Hero. He's got 13. Edey with the rebound. Now, Jerome. Williams has a screen for Jerome. Pass to Conchar. That does not fall. Still looking for his first basket after 3 shots. There's the screen. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Well, that was just determination on the part of Tyler Hero, showing you he is up for the challenge.
The Heat have gone 1 of 3 at the line here.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line. About 79% of their free throws.
And looking so cool and confident out there. Tyler Hero has developed into an all-star caliber player who consistently rises to the occasion.
Here's Edey. He picked up 18 points in their last win against New Orleans.
And he was a force on the glass. Absolutely dominant.
Jaquez can't hit. Memphis trailing here. Jackson passes to Jerome. A 3. Rebound by the Heat. Hero's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Mitchell with the bounce pass. Here's Jaquez. Good, and it's Mitchell picking up the assist. Mitchell's got his 5th assist in this one. Jerome passes to Jackson. Here's Conchar. Hits the 3-point bomb.
Nice feed by the big man, Jackson Jr. I love his selfless attitude.
And Miami shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. And here is Hero. He's got 16. 5 to shoot. Miami needs to get a shot off.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
Yeah, he was so ready to answer that. These teams are just battling.
And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Heat out front. They're up by 4. And we thank you so much for that interview. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with you for the second half of the game right after this.
Welcome, everybody, to halftime. NBA action abounds. Let's see what games are tipping off later. The Nets, out in Brooklyn, will go up against the Cavaliers. That one gets going 7:30 Eastern Time.
This is going to be either a lopsided game or a terrific upset.
Heading back to the Heat for a moment, they're right in the middle of a highly contested battle.
Their effort on the offensive glass has sent a strong message. They're not going to be pushed around, and they're going to battle and outwork you.
Like I outwork you every day, Kenny. I'm just saying.
I outworked both of you, and it ain't even close. And that is a wrap. Now let's send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You look at Andrew Wiggins in this game, he's been everywhere.
That first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape. Was just destroying the rim.
That is explosive. He can jump out of the building. Just incredible.
Here's Pippen. Scottie Pippen is out there with John Morant. Then it's Brandon Clark. Then it's Santi Aldama. And it's Wells in at the 3. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Powell down low. Covered by Wells. Powell, that's good.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Clark a screen on Hero. Morant passes to Pippen. The three-pointer no good.
Well, the defense should consider themselves lucky there because he's not usually one to miss those kinds of looks.
Adebayo drives in. Hero from long range. That will fall for his 7th bucket, 7 for 15 in this game.
Well, he typically gets about 20 a night, so this is a big-time performance by Tyler Hero.
Out to the right wing. Floats it up for Pippen. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Mitchell. With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot blocking defenses from last season. In third, the Grizzlies.
And when you look at their block totals from last year, I really love how this team protected the rim.
Morant, the bounce pass. Pippen finds Wells.
That's 3 straight misses to start the second half. Not what they wanted.
And again, Memphis no good. Here's Wiggins. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
And a quiet disposition for Andrew Wiggins. Tim, he lets his game do the talking.
Well, Kevin, his teammates love him for that reason. And remember, he was a key cog in Golden State's title in 2022, and the Warriors players and coaches had a difficult time parting with him.
When you think about elite offensive players, Tim, what's one area that can really put them over the top and into a completely different category?
I think it's those guys that have a willingness to move without the basketball. If you have a willingness to run and cut and respace, it's going to create a lot of problems for a defense.
Has that even become more of a thing now as you watch these high-octane space and pace type offenses?
There is no question. It's become something that's a priority for teams now, and I also think the ingenuity of these young coaches creates a better flow offensively if you're willing to run without the basketball.
Ah, that's terrific. And that one comes up a bit short. The Grizzlies trail by 10. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And it's Adebayo with the ball for the Miami Heat. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Memphis has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Here's Wells from outside off the mark.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down and try to get some easy ones.
And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
And that has got to help the morale of this team. Let's see if that sets up a run here.
On defense, Memphis. Foul for 3. And that one is off. Clark finds Morant. Here's Aldama. For the 3, it's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
Playing from behind right here, not easy, but he is answering the bell.
He's doing everything he can to keep him in this game, finding good looks.
Morant against Hero. 4 on the clock. From downtown, Miami no good on that time either.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And stolen by Wiggins. Pass to Mitchell. Hero against Pippen, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
That's going to draw a whistle every time down the floor. Not even close to being a legal screen.
Well, my feeling is you just want to make sure it's called consistently both ways.
The Heat making a switch here. Larson's checked in. Pass to Clark. Out to the wing. Now here's Morant for 3. It's hauled in by the Heat. Adebayo's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Adebayo with a screen for Powell. And again, it's the Heat missing. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Here's Aldama. The Grizzlies with another miss. Here's Larson. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And when Wiggins moves the rock, it's a huge plus for the offense.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Heat.
They've been playing some really physical offense, just attacking the paint as much as possible. And I tell you what, they have been very successful with that strategy.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been, clearly working to their advantage so far.
Here's Morant. 8 points for him. And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup.
A moment now to see the numbers for Tyler Hero.
He's coming off an excellent season, and he'd make you pay every time he went to the line. Top 20 in free throw percentage.
Yeah, and like you said, one of the better scorers in the NBA last season, a tireless worker on the offensive end. He could be even better this season. Aldama with the ball. He's got 16. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Tyler Hero. Hero's got 9 rebounds now tonight.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. The Grizzlies back among the top teams in the West after a down season in 2023-24. John Morant said, quote, "The confidence never left. As far as chemistry, we've been around each other for a while and we know each other well. This is my team. I'm confident in my team every step of the way." Back over to you.
They play with swagger. Okay, Allie, we thank you for the report.
Yeah, that's the endless energy of John Morant. There's no denying that man.
Pass to Adebayo. Over Clark. Tries again. Larson with the bucket. Larson's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And a better box out saves them 2 points there.
Nothing will drive your coach crazier than what you just saw. Lack of focus, lack of effort.
Pippen kicks to Morant. No good with the triple. The Heat leading by 10. Adebayo passes to Hero. All alone. Here's Wiggins, and Wiggins throws it down.
Staying with the play. Wiggins doesn't give up on the possession and gets rewarded.
Wells passes to Clark. And here's Pippen. Pass to Aldama. That three off the mark.
And, you know, it's almost as if he wore himself out with that performance in the last quarter. He hasn't had nearly the same kind of energy in this one.
That came out of nowhere. Adebayo with the highlight reel dunk.
And a good-looking view of that throwdown from the AT&T Connected Cam. Over to the left wing. Now Morant. Misses the three.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Foul for three. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists tonight. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies.
Timeout.
Trailing by 17. And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Here is the 2K leaderboard with the list of last season's top three-point shooters. You take a look at Jerome. Dangerous player from three-point land, a great talent with a great release.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
Pass to Conchar. To stop the run. Larson with the rebound. Larson's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Jovic. No good on the 3. The Grizzlies trail by 17. Three-pointer. Drains it from beyond the arc. He's got 5.
Well, the defense was a little soft right there, and it made it a practice shot.
Hero from long range bangs home the trifecta. And the Heat lead by 17.
It's been a modest night scoring so far. Maybe that shot will encourage him to get some more looks.
The Heat shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Jaquez with a wide open look. His three-pointer's off the mark. Jaquez has gotten just 1 of his 4 attempts from the floor tonight. Jacks up a 3. And it's Miami with the rebound. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
And regardless, it's great effort. You love to see that kind of hustle on defense.
Davion Mitchell's checked in for Miami. Here's the screen. Throws it up high. Edey with the steal. Out left to the wing. Puts up a 3. And the 3-ball is good.
If he gets that kind of space on the perimeter, you know it's going in.
Outside, Hero. Pass to Mitchell. Over in the corner, Jaquez. And again, it's the Heat missing. The Grizzlies trail by 14. From deep. Rebound by the Heat. Jovic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Now Hero. And here is Mitchell. Guarded by Jerome. And it's Mitchell missing.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
And he doesn't have to do it alone. He's got 4 teammates on the floor.
Edey with a screen for Jackson. Clock at 6. And it's the Heat on the break. Here's Ware. And the rejection by Jackson. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Williams is checked in. Here's Jaquez. Mitchell looking it over. Hero from long range. And the rebound by Jaren Jackson. We've known about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive acumen, but G.A. much improved as a scorer as well.
Yeah, her range out beyond the arc and his handle, I think it's underrated. One of the top two-way bigs in our league.
Where, no good. The Grizzlies trail by 14. And Memphis turns it over again.
And a brief check of the stats for Williams. How he did last season. He put up about 6 points per game last season, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And he's a nice scoring threat in their second unit, a guy who provides instant offense.
Well, I just love his mentality and his approach. He is always ready to go when called upon.
Miami no good on that time either.
Frozen. The guy is just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Down low, Jerome in the corner. Here's Jackson, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Jackson's got 8.
Well, Jackson Jr. is an efficient rebounder, and he knows to send that one right back.
Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. And Jackson gets it to go.
And he is a huge presence inside at both ends. Jackson's a great asset to have in the post.
There's Hero with the 3. That one misses. And so it's Miami, up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's listen in on what Eric Spoelstra had to say to his team.
Trust each other. Let's get that ball moving.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So with Johnson sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. They've got Adebayo. Norman Powell is out there with Mitchell. Then there's Jaime Jaquez. And it's Wiggins in at the 4-man position.
And I think that's the next step in Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s development. He has to become a more consistent three-point shooter.
Miami leading by 15. Adebayo passes to Mitchell. Morant against Powell. Mitchell outside. Wiggins outside. No good on the triple.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And stolen by Wiggins. Adebayo against Morant. Here's Jaquez. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Back to Pippen. Launches it. It's hauled in by the Heat. Jaquez outside. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
It's been a quiet game for him to this point on the offensive end, but the team has still played well enough to hold the lead.
Offensive rebound. Aldama gets the bucket.
Well, he just outworked everybody there. Give him credit. He deserved to be rewarded for that effort.
Wiggins, a screen on Pippen. And Wiggins throws it down.
And Wiggins right now is feeling it, and he is showing no signs of letting up.
Pass to Aldama. Here's Wells. No good from outside.
Well, he was able to sink a triple back in the first half, but he has yet to connect here after the break.
The Grizzlies trail by 17. Jackson dishes to Wells. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Takes a 3. Aldama gets the bucket. Aldama's got 21 in the game.
When you can shoot over the top of people and hit a high percentage from out there, you are in rare company.
And the rejection by Jackson. To the right side. Wells finds Pippen. Jackson setting the pick here for Pippen. Now here's Morant for three.
And maybe, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes. And what a powerful player Wiggins can be. Dunks like this remind you of that elite level athleticism.
Aldama drills the three-pointer. Aldama's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And that's 4 from deep on the night, with 3 of them coming in this half.
The shot by Mitchell, no good.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Here's Morant. Rebound by the Heat. Wiggins has got 7 rebounds in the game. Mitchell outside. Pass to Powell from outside the arc. Wells grabs the miss. Wells has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. And stolen by Wiggins. To the paint, here's Adebayo. And the layup's good off the glass.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Right side Jackson. Back to Morant. Powell with the steal. Looking to end his cold spell. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. 17-point game. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team.
And this is where Jackson feasts. And at times, he's just too overwhelming for the D, which results in the foul.
2 shots.
And that one falls for Jackson. GA, one great thing about the NBA, well, there are many things, but one great thing is that there's always new talent coming through the ranks.
Yeah, the future is bright. And Kevin, I really like this year's draft class. Man, we just continue to add exciting young talent to the mix.
Adebayo with a screen on Morant. Pass to Adebayo. Over Clark. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's got 11 rebounds in the game. Pippen finds Clark. Clark sets a screen for Morant. And that one's good by Clark.
And I like how Morant threaded the needle there. Just an excellent pass off that pick.
Pass to Mitchell. Hero sets the pick for Mitchell. Now here's Powell. Wiggins outside. A 3-ball. Here's Adebayo. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Adebayo's got 4 points in the quarter. Jackson a screen on Hero. Down low. And Jackson throws it down.
This kid throws down some mean dunks. Jackson showcasing his athleticism on that one.
Adebayo high post. Hero from long range. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Jackson's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. Pass to Clark. Fires for 3. It's hauled in by the Heat. 17 points was their biggest margin. Hero kicks to Adebayo. Adebayo the screen to the middle. Stolen by Jackson. And it's Memphis on the break. Stolen by Hero. And the rejection by Clark.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
Always good to get another look at a terrific defensive play.
Yeah, quick thinking pays off big. What a block.
And here's Mitchell from the arc.
And after getting off to such a good start offensively in that first half, haven't been quite as efficient here in the second.
The Grizzlies with another miss.
Oh, you have a feeling this would be a completely different game if it wasn't for his brutal shooting performance.
And it's Wiggins missing.
Well, he was shooting the ball from deep in the first half, but he's come up dry ever since.
That's tipped. Morant with the steal. Jackson passes to Wells. Morant sets a screen for Jackson. To the inside. That's it, and the Miami lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Morant.
And no problem for Morant that close to the hoop. Once he gets inside, he makes it look easy.
And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. Santi Aldama's checked in for Jaren Jackson. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Eric Spoelstra's huddle, and they told their team, no easy threes. Let's guard that arc. Don't let anyone get an open look. With the lead, they want to close this one out with their perimeter defense. Back to you.
Terrific, Allie. We appreciate the report. Now, here's Mitchell. Outside, Hero. Pass to Adebayo. Inside, here's Mitchell. And a wide open look for Hero. Good, and the assist goes to Mitchell. Hero's got 25 points in the game. The Grizzlies trail by 14. Pippen outside. Clark sets a screen for Pippen. They get it back. Lays it up and banks it in.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of
And for the Heat, they're shooting 40% in the fourth. Wiggins outside. There's the three. And again, it's Miami with a three.
What a performance for him on the offensive end. He's been fantastic the entire game.
Oh, the offensive rebound. Grizzlies from outside. That's off.
And this is what dominating the glass looks like. He just cannot be contained.
He just wants the ball more than anybody else on the floor, and it's ending up in his hands as a result.
Wiggins with the block.
His length gives Wiggins an advantage on the D. He can get his hand to shots that a lot of other players would not be able to impact.
The Grizzlies trail by 15. Fires. And it doesn't go. And it's Adebayo with the ball for Miami. Got a piece of it. Wells with the steal. Now Aldama. Morant scanning the floor. Up again. Sees him with the putback.
Always better to be lucky than good when it comes to offensive rebound. And unless you're as good as he is, then those tip-ins are all about skill.
Powell outside. Now Adebayo. Hero. And the three misses. The Grizzlies shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late.
And he's easily been their best rebounder tonight.
Well, he plays with incredible determination. Want to is a skill, and he has it.
Powell. Drained from outside.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Heat.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort. They got everyone involved.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of two that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Andrew Wiggins.
You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.